Let me go back to the audience. Do you feel empowered more with all the different ways you can actually get your views portrayed in the media? Has anyone got any views on that? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, we're in a very different world now with the advent of the internet. And I mean, I personally have been able to write letters and have them published in newspapers like The Times and The Independent, where I've had a paper regarding the cartoon incident where I said that, you know, Muslims shouldn't, their protest was more, caused more problems to Islam than the cartoons did. That was actually carried as a lead letter by The Times. So we live in a, I mean, it's worth highlighting that the British media, in fact, is actually well respected throughout the world. BBC World Service, for instance, it's got a very good reputation. And at least in this country, there is the opportunity there. And it comes back to what we were talking about earlier. Maybe the onus is on Muslims to portray that and to, you know, really arm themselves with these new technologies and use them.
Okay, any other?
Taking up on Robin's point, and I think we should put it across to Gordon in the sense that talking about what you can put on internet and the response to the news which can be immediately given to the news channels. If a certain number of people responded to a certain news being shown on a television which the viewers do not agree, do you think that instantaneous response would have some effect on the editorial?
The broadcasters would listen. If you don't agree with something, communicate. Phone calls not as effective as appearing on the internet. Journalists, I mean, I look at internet sites all the time. If there is something that seems to be interesting there, we would have to get that verified. We can't start quoting bits and pieces from all sorts of websites. But if you don't communicate, we never know. And my feeling, certainly here, and the likes of AMT, is keep on and on and on, and you will move closer and closer to mainstream broadcasting. Because as Robin was saying, the whole structure is breaking down. Right. The major broadcasters don't quite know what the future holds for them. Right. They know it's got something to do with the internet. We all know it's got something to do with the internet, but social networking is very powerful, and you know, something can be very successful on YouTube and can become world news. That's right. It's a hackneyed phrase to talk about a level playing field, but it's certainly changing.
Yeah, if I could just stop, we're going to be wrapping up soon. Finally, if I can get some final views from the audience. What would you like to see from the media in the future? What kind of changes do you think would bring about a fairer media?
I think I'd have to agree with what Zafar Banu said, that major broadcasters have a duty towards the people because they have such a major influence on our lifestyles. We can do, and we should do, we must do as much as we can through internet, through social networking websites, through our own channels, independent TV like Current TV, even MTA. We can do as much as we want, but it will seem like a drop in the ocean. I think major broadcasters have to do something. They have to cooperate with minorities who are being portrayed in a bad light, especially Muslims and the British society.
Well, the other option, of course, is those people that maybe feel a little bit aggrieved to develop all the broadcast skills, to learn those, to shoot their own material and to put it on websites, because there is a big move out there, both in the public sector, the private sector, governments, charities, to deliver their own material.
Okay, let's get some, let's just get some...
One example, okay, and it's quite an important one, the G20 protests. Right, okay. The footage that has landed the Met Police in real difficulty was shot on a mobile phone. Now, it is now possible for an individual using their mobile phone to shoot footage that causes some real repercussions for organisations and shakes the world. You know, the crash of Concorde, that was amateur video footage. The plane landing in the Hudson River, and that was actually CCTV footage that captured that. So we are seeing things appear on our television screens that are not shot by television cameramen. Right. They're shot by amateurs, and they're actually making a huge difference. So I think the age of the citizen journalist is here. It's a matter now of us working out how to use the power that we have at our fingertips and to use it in the right way.
Okay, we're going to be wrapping up shortly. Nasir, are there any kind of final wrap-up points you'd like to...
Well, the only thing which remains to be said is that, as we have already ascertained, media has got an absolutely huge responsibility in shaping the world, in shaping the lives of people around the world. And we can only hope and pray that they fulfill this responsibility in fairness and honesty.
Okay. Do you think it's going to be easier?
Well, no, it isn't, as we have talked about it, that there's a monopoly of a very small group of people on the world media. And as long as that monopoly remains intact, I think it's very difficult to break the ice.
Okay. Robin, any final words?
I think for me, it's, let's not get hung up on the fact that I mean, I agree with you. There are big players in the marketplace, but at the same time, we also have new routes into the public consciousness, and we need to use those in the best way possible.
Waqar, just briefly, how would you like to sum up the discussion we've had today?
I think the media itself, we need to remember, is actually a neutral tool. It is a neutral facility, and it should stay that way.
Right, okay. And Gordon, any final thoughts?
Use the best public relations skills, because the people who shout loudest get listened to most.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone in the panel here. Obviously, it's a wide-ranging topic, and we'd love to hear your views as well. Email us at realtalk@mta.tv. Finally, once again, I'd like to thank all of our audience as well. Hope you join us again next time for more Real Talk.